Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great most under rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers to my sincerity and truth. Just a quick few scriptures. I was kind of meditating on what's been going down with this conflict between, Israel and Palestine, as they say, and essentially how a light's being shone on this, to a far greater brightness than you've had for a while. You've had like a lot of people, they might have known, what's been going down, but they ain't really seen it, they ain't really interacted with it to any kind of reasonable level. And now that it's been very popularized, it's been very mainstream, it's been spoken about everywhere, everyone's got an opinion, everyone's talking about it, people are circulating clips. And because of how the internet's been, Twitter's been the go-to kind of spot to highlight things when there's like a fresh conflict. Same thing with Ukraine went down. You got a lot of people seeing and understanding just what's going down. And that's essentially bringing, shining a light on Amalek, because Amalek are over there, and they, people are looking like, yo, what's going on? Why these men able to just go through and do what they're doing to such an extent? But why is it? It's because it's Bastard needs to dwell in Ashdod for Israel to return. That's gonna happen when they are in the land. There's gonna be peace when that actual Israel gets back there. That's when there'll be peace. Now's the time, for that turmoil and for that everything to be working against Esau. So I read this, Habakkuk 2:15. It says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, and that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." Yeah, that shameful spewing's coming heavy. Because, people have been, dug their heels in and picked their sides on this conflict, from time ago. And now it's essentially being highlighted, the extents to which, what Amalek does to, to justify themselves being there, man. Because it's funny, you had the hospital get blown up. You've had, like, the whole time they've been there. I remember, like, the last time that there was it flared up when they're having a back and forth, they're blowing up hospitals, they're blowing up schools, which was being spoken about, but didn't get that big, because it's just like with most of these kind of conflicts in certain parts of the world, that then ceases to be news. The thing that made this blow up was because Hamas did the first, the first strike with all them rockets, and then they got hostages. So it was on a different scale than how shit had gone before. So it got attention, and then the response in the counter force from Bibi, because Bibi's been he's been dreaming of this day. He's been waiting for this. That's what he needed to clean up his political career, was a nice conflict. So he's going into it full force, and you're now seeing like the extent of these things being publicized again. Is grim. It's fucked, but that's yeah, it's fucked. But it's now everything's being spotlighted. The spotlight's being shone on it. It's being highlighted. The whole world's seeing it, man. Everyone's out here. They get get a good look at how this shit operates. So I read this, Nahum 3 and 4. It says, "Behold, the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations for her whoredoms, and families for her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Jehovah of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame." And yeah, for for America, it's being highlighted. It's been highlighted for the longest, and the state of Israel is essentially the the tightest ally for America in the Middle East, and they essentially co-sign what they do because why? They want to maintain that influence. They want to maintain the capability, to deal with that place how they do, and try, essentially be able to use it as a jumping off point for when they want to, go into that full conflict with Iran and Russia and whatnot. When everyone gets drawn into it, and that's the thing. What does it say? I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and I will set thee as a gazing stock. And yeah, it's like really starting from America. They've really been made vile in the eyes of the world. They've been looked at like sideways, man. Everyone's squinting them like, what are these guys doing? And that's being turned to now as well. That light's being shone on what the state of Israel's doing, what these guys are out there doing, what how these guys are meant to adhere. The only justification they got to be in that land is through the scriptures, through prophecy. And then you go to the scriptures, these guys don't fit in the slightest. But now these things are coming up. All of a sudden, Amalek's getting spoken about. They're talking about Amalek, which, they're thinking that's to their benefit, man. They're thinking that's something that's gonna be a strength onto them. But they're gonna discover, shockingly, that they're condemning themselves, man. They're sealing themselves. Speaking about Amalek ain't gonna be in their favor. So I read this, Isaiah 14 and 16, it says, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as a raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned." And yeah, all these nations are basically, they've been paying attention to what America's been doing, and now they're getting a big scopeo on what the state of Israel gets down with, and people are getting upset, man. People are getting wound up. People are getting emotionally invested in what's going down, to where this is becoming a big focal point, man. And it's what's gonna happen. All these things is the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua set it up so that all these different nations, they're gonna turn, man. They're gonna flip. They're gonna be, what's the word? Observing what's going down. They're gonna be like, yo, these guys are vile, and that's the spirit that's been prophesied of, how all these nations, all these allies, they're gonna flip, man. They're really gonna flip on America, and gonna lace it with missiles, man. But these actions, seeing what, because America's basically co-signed this shit, man. So it's that shame's being spread, and really for them man in the state of Israel, That's where the biggest light's been shone, man, and where the rot's been highlighted. You know, the filth, it's been highlighted. So I finished back in Habakkuk, just a bit further up. So Habakkuk 2 and 4 says, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, and neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. It's funny, yeah, because, you know, through after World War II, what happened? They were, you know, after Balfour, the Balfour Declaration, they then were like, okay, we're going to send, you know, Amalek into the land. And then they did that, and then since then, it's been nothing but bloodshed and conflict, which is the complete opposite of what's meant to happen when Israel returns to their land. When they return to their land, that's meant to be peace. They ain't meant to be. People are meant to be taking their knife, taking their spear, their lance, you know, their dagger, and using that, turning that into a tool to till the ground, man. They'll melt that down and make that into a hoe, or make it into a spade. Make it into a tool, so they can till that ground, man. Because they're meant to be at peace. But lo and behold, that that ain't been found. What is it said? And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Yeah. Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. You know, Amalek's in there trying to use the scriptures to justify taking the land, which is the only means they can have by which they have any reason to be there. And that's why, you know, you got them going to the scriptures. But then what? You know, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Because it says, what? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So yeah, as it says, all the remnant are going to spoil thee. Because why? Everyone's got a bone to pick. They go back to their history and their dealings with you, and they're like looking like, yo, this ended up completely fucking us over. After like the British Empire left, you know, the state of Israel, they'll basically set up to where it was meant to be. You know, Palestine had their spots, and then, you know, the Amalek had their spots, but that all got thrown in the bin swiftly. And then it's been a bloody back and forth since. And that's just one example. When it goes down to Esau, Edom, there's countless, to where all these people are gonna be looking like, yo, we want to tear our peace. They're gonna want to get revenge, man. And that's how they're gonna take action in, essentially in the course of what? Judgment, man. Spirit's gonna be coming against Esau heavy, just like now, man. It's gonna intensify. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Yeah, shalom. Shalom. Shalom.